A city of dreams and despair, a young boy's haunting melody, an unexpected encounter that changes everything. Prepare for a tale of hope and resilience. In the vibrant and bustling city of Metropolis, where the skyline was dominated by towering skyscrapers that seemed to scrape the very heavens, the streets thrummed with life. Cars honked incessantly, pedestrians rushed by with determined strides, and the air was filled with a symphony of sounds that blended into a chaotic melody. In the midst of this urban cacophony lived a young boy named Alex. Unlike the other children who played carefree in the parks and plazas, Alex's life was marked by hardship and solitude. He had been an orphan since the tender age of 5, cast into a world that was both cruel and unforgiving. The streets had become his home, and each day was a battle for survival, fought with little more than his wits and an extraordinary voice that resonated with the purity of 1,000 unshed tears. Every morning as the sun began to rise, casting a golden hue over the city, Alex would find his way to a makeshift corner near a bustling intersection. This spot, filled with the hustle and bustle of life, became his stage. With a weathered cap set out before him to collect the sparse coins tossed his way, he would begin to sing. His soulful voice, infused with longing and pain, rose above the clamor of honking cars and hurried footsteps. He sang not for riches or fame, but for the simple hope of earning enough to buy a meal or a warm drink on the coldest nights. Yet, woven into his haunting melodies was a more profound yearning, a desire for a life that extended beyond the grime and grit of the streets, a life filled with warmth, love, and possibility. One chilly autumn afternoon, as the crisp wind swirled leaves around the hurried feet of passers-by, Alex poured his heart into a song that spoke of dreams, love, and the flickering light of hope that refused to be extinguished. Unbeknownst to him, fate was orchestrating a profound change in his life. Among the throng of people was a man named Jonathan Reed, the CEO of the prestigious Harmonia Records, a label known for nurturing extraordinary talent. Jonathan had spent the day buried in corporate meetings and pressing deadlines, his mind weary and his spirit dulled. But as he walked past Alex, he found himself inexplicably drawn to the clear, resonant notes that seemed to cut through the noise of the city like a beacon of light. Pausing to listen, Jonathan was struck by the raw emotion and unrefined talent that emanated from the boy. He had always believed in hard work and the merit of planning, yet in that moment, a flicker of belief in the magic of chance ignited within him. After the song ended, he approached Alex, his heart racing with a mix of excitement and curiosity.
"Hey there,"
Jonathan said, his voice warm and inviting.
"You have an incredible voice. What's your name?"
Alex looked up, his eyes wide with a combination of suspicion and hope.
"I'm Alex.
He replied cautiously, unsure of the man's intentions.
Thank you."
Jonathan knelt down to meet Alex's gaze, offering a business card with the elegant logo of Harmonia Records.
"I'm Jonathan Reed. I run Harmonia Records. I'd love for you to come by our studio and see what we can do with that talent of yours."
Alex stared at the card, the shiny surface glinting in the afternoon light. He had heard whispers of Harmonia Records, a name synonymous with success and artistry, but never in his wildest dreams had he imagined being noticed by someone like Jonathan.
"Are you serious?"
Alex asked, disbelief mingling with a burgeoning sense of excitement.
"Absolutely,"
Jonathan replied, his eyes sparkling with genuine enthusiasm.
"Come by tomorrow, and we'll talk more about it."
That night, as the city lay shrouded in darkness, Alex could hardly find rest. The prospect of leaving the streets, even if only for a day, filled him with a whirlwind of exhilaration and apprehension. He knew this was an opportunity he couldn't afford to miss, a lifeline thrown into his turbulent sea of existence. The next morning dawned crisp and bright, the sun illuminating the grand building that housed Harmonia Records. As he stepped inside, the sleek modern design and bustling activity overwhelmed him. Yet he held his head high, pushing aside the fear that threatened to overshadow this golden opportunity. Jonathan greeted Alex with open arms and introduced him to his team, a group of individuals who radiated passion and creativity. The studio was a world unto itself, a sanctuary where melodies were born and dreams took flight. For the first time, Alex stood before a microphone that wasn't a street corner. As he sang, the room fell silent, captivated by the raw, unrefined talent that poured forth from his soul. His voice, though untrained, was powerful, echoing with the weight of his experiences, his struggles, his hopes, and his dreams. Jonathan watched in awe, realizing he had stumbled upon something rare, something that could touch hearts and inspire change.
You're a natural, Alex.
Jonathan said after his performance, his eyes reflecting genuine admiration.
With a little guidance, you could achieve amazing things.
As the weeks unfolded, Alex's life began to transform in ways he had never anticipated. Harmonia Records enveloped him in a cocoon of support, providing not only vocal training but also a place to stay and, most importantly, a profound sense of belonging he had long craved. Jonathan became not just a mentor but a friend, guiding Alex through the tumultuous waters of the music industry while also imparting valuable life lessons. However, not everyone was pleased with this blossoming talent. Enter Lydia Hartman, a once promising singer who had faded into obscurity. Once a star at Harmonia Records, Lydia had seen her career dwindle as new talents emerged, and now, watching Alex's rise to fame, reignited her envy. Lydia was determined to reclaim her spotlight, and she viewed Alex not as a potential friend or ally, but as a threat. Her resentment festered as Alex's debut single, Streets of Hope, quickly climbed the charts. The poignant lyrics and haunting melody resonated with listeners around the globe. The song was more than just music. It was a testament to his journey, a reminder that even in the darkest corners of the world, light and hope could be found. In the shadows, Lydia plotted her scheme. She began to spread rumors about Alex, claiming that he was nothing more than a product of Jonathan's manipulation.
He's just a street kid with a pretty voice.
She would whisper to anyone who would listen.
He doesn't deserve the fame. He hasn't paid his dues like I have.
Her words, laced with venom, slowly began to sow doubt among some members of the industry, threatening to unravel Alex's hard-earned success. As success embraced him, Alex never lost sight of his roots. He used his newfound influence to advocate for homeless youth, partnering with organizations dedicated to providing resources and support for those in need. His story became a beacon of hope for countless individuals, inspiring them to believe in the possibility of change and the power of resilience. Yet, with Lydia's whispers growing louder, the very foundation of his newfound life began to tremble. One fateful evening, as Alex prepared for a charity concert to benefit homeless youth, Lydia confronted him backstage. The tension crackled in the air, thick enough to cut.
You think you can just waltz in here and take everything from me?
She hissed, her eyes narrowing with malice.
You don't know what it's like to fight for your place in this world.
But I'm not trying to take anything from you.
Alex replied, his heart racing.
I just want to share my music. I want to help others.
Help? Or is it all just a publicity stunt for you?
Lydia retorted, her voice dripping with sarcasm.
You think you're some kind of savior, but you're just a pawn in Jonathan's game.
Her words stung, but Alex stood tall, refusing to let her bitterness extinguish his light.
You were once a star, Lydia. You can still be great. Why not lift others up instead of trying to tear them down?
Lydia's laughter was cold and bitter, echoing through the backstage corridor.
You don't get it, do you? In this industry, it's eat or be eaten. And I will not be eaten.
As the charity concert approached, the tension between Alex and Lydia escalated. Jonathan, sensing the growing animosity, called a meeting to address the issue. He believed in transparency and wanted to clear the air, but Lydia's stubbornness made it difficult. The night of the concert arrived and the atmosphere buzzed with excitement. Alex took the stage, pouring his heart into every note, but he could feel Lydia's eyes burning into him from the side. As he sang, he noticed a shadow lurking at the edge of the spotlight, Lydia ready to sabotage his moment. In a desperate attempt to reclaim her former glory, Lydia surged onto the stage mid-performance, grabbing the microphone from Alex's hand. The crowd gasped, some booed, while others watched in stunned silence.
This is my stage!
She shouted, her voice trembling with rage.
You don't belong here.
But Alex, quick on his feet, stepped back and allowed her to take the spotlight. Instead of retaliating, he played the role of the supportive artist, encouraging the audience to listen.
Let's hear what Lydia has to say.
He announced, his voice steady. Lydia hesitated, caught off guard by his unexpected kindness. The audience was silent, waiting for her next move. In that moment, Alex saw the flicker of vulnerability in her eyes, a reminder that beneath the bitterness lay a once passionate artist who had lost her way.
Maybe you're right.
She began, her voice softer now.
Maybe I've lost my way, but I still have something to say.
The crowd erupted in applause, and Lydia, for the first time in years, found the courage to sing again. The music that poured from her was raw and powerful, a blend of pain and redemption. In that moment, something shifted between them. As Lydia finished her song, Alex stepped forward, offering her the microphone once more.
You're not alone in this.
He said, his voice filled with sincerity.
Let's lift each other up.
As the spotlight shone brightly on the stage, the tension gradually transformed into a palpable anticipation. The audience, captivated by the unfolding drama, waited with bated breath to witness what would become of the unexpected pairing of Alex and Lydia. The air was thick with a mixture of curiosity and excitement, as many wondered if this impromptu collaboration would be a harmonious blend or a cacophony of discord. With a steadying breath, Alex extended his hand towards Lydia, his gesture an olive branch amid the swirling emotions. Lydia hesitated for a moment, the weight of her past insecurities pressing heavily upon her shoulders. But as she looked into Alex's eyes, she saw not a rival, but a kindred spirit who understood the struggles and triumphs of the music world. Together, they stepped forward side by side, and Alex nodded to the band to start playing the introductory chords of a song they both knew well, an anthem of hope and redemption. It was a melody that spoke of new beginnings and the power of forgiveness, a song whose lyrics resonated deeply with their shared journey. As their voices intertwined, the audience was mesmerized by the seamless blend of Alex's soulful timbre and Lydia's powerful vibrato. The harmony they created was nothing short of magical, an unexpected symphony that transcended their individual talents. Each note they shared was a testament to their growth and the mutual respect they had forged through understanding and compassion. The music built to a crescendo, their voices soaring as one, reaching every corner of the venue. The audience, initially doubtful, found themselves swayed by the genuine emotion that poured from the stage. Applause began to ripple through the crowd, growing louder as the duet continued, a symphony of approval that echoed the triumphs of their respective journeys. As the final notes of the song faded into silence, Lydia turned to Alex, her eyes glistening with tears of gratitude. The crowd erupted in thunderous applause, acknowledging not just the performance, but the courage it took to share the stage and the story behind the music. In that moment, Alex and Lydia realized that their combined strength was far greater than any solitary endeavor. Together, they had not only captivated an audience, but had also forged a bond that would carry them forward as both collaborators and friends. The duet marked a turning point in their lives and careers, a reminder of the transformative power of music and the importance of lifting each other up. The applause continued long after the final note had died away, a resounding affirmation that their collaboration was a success. As they exited the stage, Alex and Lydia knew that this was just the beginning of a new chapter, one that held the promise of more music, more stories, and more opportunities to inspire others with their shared message of hope and resilience. United by their passion for music and a newfound friendship, they were ready to face whatever the future held, knowing that together their voices could change the world. The sun dipped low in the sky, casting a warm golden glow over the hospital room where Jonathan lay. The beeping of the machines was a stark reminder of the fragile thread of life that held him. Alex stood at his bedside, a mix of dread and determination etched across his face. He grasped Jonathan's hand tightly, feeling the warmth that was slowly fading.
Jonathan, you can't leave us now.
Alex pleaded, his voice trembling.
We still need you. Harmonia Records needs you. I need you.
Jonathan turned his head slightly, a faint smile ghosting across his lips.
Alex, my time is running out. But you and Lydia, you have to promise me something.
Anything.
Alex replied, his throat tightening.
Just say the word.
Keep the music alive.
Jonathan whispered, his voice barely above a whisper.
You and Lydia, you have a gift. Don't let it die with me.
Tears welled in Alex's eyes as he shook his head.
We won't, I promise. We'll make sure your vision lives on. But please don't go. I can't imagine a world without you in it.
Jonathan's gaze softened.
You've always been like a son to me, Alex. I believe in you. You have the strength to carry this torch, and Lydia, she needs you now more than ever.
Just then, Lydia entered the room, her eyes wide with fear.
Jonathan!
She gasped, rushing to his side.
I'm here. I'm so sorry I'm late.
Jonathan's eyes sparkled with warmth as he looked at her.
Lydia, my dear, you must promise me the same. Make music that speaks to the soul. Reach for the stars, and don't look back.
Lydia knelt beside him, clutching his hand.
I promise, Jonathan, but please, stay with us. We can't do this without you.
Jonathan's breaths grew shallower, but he managed a small chuckle.
You two will be just fine. You have each other, and you have love. That's more powerful than anything.
As the moments ticked away, the atmosphere in the room shifted. Jonathan's breaths became more labored, and Alex leaned closer, desperation creeping into his voice.
Jonathan, please, fight. You can't leave us. There's so much more to do.
He met Alex's eyes, a flicker of resolve crossing his face.
You both have each other and the music. That's what matters. Promise me you'll carry on my legacy and love each other fiercely.
I promise.
Alex said, his voice breaking.
We'll make you proud.
With a final shuddering breath, Jonathan closed his eyes.
Remember, the notes we create together, they'll echo forever.
And just like that, the room fell silent. Jonathan Reed, the visionary who had ignited their passion and dreams, took his last breath, leaving behind a legacy that would forever resonate in the hearts of Alex and Lydia. They held each other tightly, the weight of their loss mingling with the promise of a future that would honor the spirit of the man who had believed in them both. Years passed, and both Alex and Lydia found their places in the music world, their careers intertwined. They collaborated on songs that spoke of resilience and hope, their voices merging to create melodies that resonated with millions. Lydia found her redemption, and Alex's light shone brighter than ever, illuminating the path for others. As Alex established a foundation dedicated to helping young, talented individuals find their path, he understood that for every voice unheard, there lay a story waiting to be told, a melody of chants that could change everything. Thus, the boy who once sang on the streets, alongside his once antagonist-turned-ally, found their places in the world. Their voices became a testament to the resilience of the human spirit and the unyielding belief that even the most challenging circumstances could give rise to extraordinary possibilities. Their journey was far from over. It was merely the beginning of new chapters, each promising even more music, hope, and change. Years had passed since Alex had first set foot on the grand stage of the music world. His life, once defined by solitude and struggle, had transformed into a symphony of success and purpose. Yet he never forgot the streets where his journey began, nor the serendipitous encounter that had altered the course of his life. One crisp winter afternoon, as Alex strolled through the bustling streets of Metropolis, he heard a voice that stopped him in his tracks. It was the voice of a young girl, perhaps no older than 6, singing with a purity and longing that echoed his own from years past. Her small frame and big, soulful eyes reminded him so much of himself at that age, an orphan with a dream, yearning for a chance in a world that often turned a blind eye. The girl's song was a haunting melody, filled with hope and a touch of sadness, the notes dancing in the chilly air. She stood at the same corner where Alex had once sung, a weathered cap at her feet collecting only a few coins. Her voice reached into Alex's heart, stirring memories of his own struggles and the unexpected kindness that had changed his life forever. Moved by the familiarity of the scene, Alex approached her.
You have a beautiful voice.
He said gently, kneeling to meet her gaze.
What's your name?
The girl looked up, wary yet hopeful.
I'm Lily.
She replied softly. Alex smiled, his heart swelling with empathy and determination. He remembered Jonathan Reed, the man who had given him a chance, and knew he was now in a position to offer the same lifeline to someone else.
I'm Alex.
He said, handing her a card with his foundation's logo.
I'd love for you to come by our studio and see what we can do together.
Lily's eyes widened with a mix of disbelief and excitement.
Really?
She asked, her voice barely above a whisper.
Really?
Alex assured her, his voice warm and sincere.
You have a gift, and I'd be honored to help you share it with the world.
As they spoke, the hustle and bustle of the city faded into the background, and Alex knew this was the beginning of another beautiful journey. Just as Jonathan had once extended a hand to him, Alex was ready to do the same for Lily, ensuring the cycle of kindness and opportunity continued. Together, they stood at the threshold of new possibilities, united by the power of music and the promise of a brighter future. Alex's heart soared with the realization that by helping Lily, he was not only honoring his own past, but also continuing to spread love and hope in the world, one melody at a time. As Alex and Lydia's lives intertwined within the vibrant world of music, their friendship gradually deepened into something more profound and enduring. From the very beginning, there was a spark between them, a shared understanding born from their similar struggles and triumphs. They had both faced adversity and emerged stronger, their resilience creating a bond that grew with each passing day. Their collaboration in the studio often extended beyond the confines of work, leading to long conversations about their dreams, fears, and the paths that had brought them together. They found solace in each other's company, their laughter a balm to the pressures and demands of their careers. With every shared moment, their connection blossomed, rooted in mutual respect and admiration. One evening, after a long day at the studio, Lydia invited Alex to join her for a quiet dinner at a small cafe they had both come to love. The dim lighting and soft music provided a perfect backdrop for their growing affection. As they talked over steaming cups of coffee, their conversation turned to the future, what they hoped to achieve, and the people they wanted to become.
You know,
Lydia said, her eyes reflecting the warmth of the candlelight.
I never thought I'd find someone who truly understands the music and the journey like you do.
Alex, his heart full, replied,
I feel the same way. You've been my anchor in this whirlwind world. I can't imagine doing this without you.
Their hands brushed across the table, a gentle, electrifying connection that lingered between them. Neither pulled away, their fingers entwined as if they were meant to be. It was in that moment, surrounded by the hum of the cafe, that they both realized their friendship had grown into a love that was undeniable. As the night drew to a close, they stepped out into the chill of the evening, the stars twinkling above like 1,000 tiny beacons. They walked side by side, their footsteps echoing softly in the quiet street. The air was crisp, their breaths visible in the cool night air. Pausing beneath a street lamp, Alex turned to Lydia, his heart pounding with a mix of anticipation and vulnerability.
Lydia,
He began, his voice a soft murmur.
there's something I've been meaning to tell you.
Her eyes met his, a gentle smile playing on her lips.
What is it, Alex?
He took a breath, steadying himself.
I've fallen for you, Lydia. I think I have for a while now. You're not just my partner in music, but in life. I can't imagine a future without you.
Her smile widened, her heart swelling with a joy she had kept at bay.
I feel the same way, Alex. I've been waiting for you to say that.
In that moment, the world around them seemed to fade away, leaving only the two of them bathed in the glow of the street lamp. Slowly, Alex leaned in, his hand gently cupping Lydia's cheek. The kiss that followed was tender and filled with all the unspoken words and emotions that had been building between them. It was a promise, a beginning, and a culmination of everything they had shared. As they parted, their foreheads resting gently against each other, they both knew that this was just the start of a beautiful journey together, a journey that would be filled with love, music, and the promise of forever. One evening, under a starlit sky, Alex proposed to Lydia during a quiet moment in their favorite park. It was a place that held many memories for them, a sanctuary amid the chaos of their hectic lives. As they walked hand in hand, Alex paused, his heart filled with gratitude and hope.
Lydia,
He began, his voice steady yet filled with emotion.
we've been through so much together, and I can't imagine my life without you by my side. Will you marry me?
Lydia's eyes shimmered with tears of joy.
Yes, 1,000 times yes!
She exclaimed, throwing her arms around Alex in a warm embrace. The world seemed to pause, the moment suspended in time as they celebrated their commitment to one another. Their wedding was a small, intimate affair, attended by close friends and family who had supported them throughout their journey. It was a celebration of love, resilience, and the unwavering belief that together they could overcome any obstacle. Amid the joy and celebration of their wedding day, Alex and Lydia had planned a special surprise that would forever change the life of a very important guest. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting a golden glow over the intimate gathering, the couple stood before their friends and family, ready to share a heartfelt moment that held deep significance. As the guests settled into their seats, Alex and Lydia exchanged a knowing glance, their hearts brimming with excitement. Lydia took a deep breath and addressed the crowd, her voice filled with warmth and anticipation.
We are so grateful to have all of you here to celebrate our love.
She began, her eyes glistening with emotion.
But today is not just about us. It's also about someone very special who has touched our hearts and become a part of our family.
Alex stepped forward, taking Lydia's hand as he continued.
From the moment I heard her sing, I knew she was meant to be a part of our lives. And so, today, Lydia and I have a surprise that we are thrilled to share with all of you.
With that, Alex and Lydia turned to where Lily sat, her eyes wide with curiosity and wonder.
Lily.
Lydia called gently, motioning for her to join them at the front. As the young girl approached, Alex knelt down to meet her gaze, his heart full of love and pride.
Lily,
He said tenderly.
we've watched you grow and shine, and we want you to know how much you mean to us.
Lydia placed an arm around Lily's shoulders, her smile radiant.
We would be honored if you would become our daughter.
She said, her voice steady despite the tears of happiness threatening to spill over. Lily's eyes widened with surprise and joy, a radiant smile breaking across her face as the reality of the moment sunk in.
Really?
She whispered, a mixture of disbelief and hope coloring her voice.
Really?
Alex and Lydia replied in unison, their voices filled with unwavering love and commitment. The guests erupted into applause, the joyous sounds echoing across the venue as Lily embraced her new parents, her heart full of happiness and belonging. It was a moment that signified a new beginning, not just for Lily, but for the entire family. As the celebration continued, Alex, Lydia, and Lily stood together, united in love and the promise of a shared future. The adoption was more than a legal formality. It was a declaration of their bond and an affirmation of the love that had brought them all together. The evening unfolded with laughter, music, and the warmth of a family completed. For Lily, it was a surprise that marked the start of a new chapter, filled with hope, love, and the unwavering support of the parents who had chosen to make her their own. Together, they embraced the future, their hearts intertwined in a tapestry of love, ready to face whatever adventures lay ahead as a family. In time, Lydia discovered she was expecting a child. Overwhelmed with happiness, they decided to honor the man who had been a pivotal figure in their lives. When their son was born, they named him Jonathan, a tribute to their dear friend and mentor, Jonathan Reed. His legacy lived on through their music, their love, and now their family. As they watched Lily and Jonathan grow, Alex and Lydia felt a profound sense of fulfillment. Their home was filled with the sounds of laughter and music, a testament to the power of love and the resilience of the human spirit. Together, they continued to create songs that inspired others, their voices a guiding light for many. With each passing day, Alex, Lydia, Lily, and Jonathan embraced the challenges and joys of life, united by the strength of their bond. They understood that the journey of life was not just about the destination, but the shared moments along the way, moments that were enriched by love, kindness, and the enduring promise of hope. Their story, once marked by dreams and despair, had transformed into a tapestry of harmony and joy, a reminder that even in the darkest times, light could be found. Together, they faced the future with open hearts, knowing that their love and music would continue to resonate in the world for generations to come.